For today's online Spanish review, we're going to talk about the verb gustar, or how to express the idea of I like or you like something in Spanish. Now, there is no literal translation for you like or I like, so instead we use the verb gustar, which means to please. Here we see a conjugation of this, and notice that we use the indirect object pronouns to show who is being pleased. So, for example, the phrase me gusta la pizza. Really, la pizza is the subject of the sentence, so pizza is pleasing to me, or pizza pleases me. Te gusta, le gusta, nos gusta, os gusta, les gusta. And we'll talk about these in a minute. There's really only two forms of gustar. We have gusta or gustan that we're going to use. The main idea is whether we're talking about a singular noun or verb or a plural noun. So in the previous section we saw the gusta versus gustan. If I'm talking about a singular noun, me gusta el pan, then I'm going to use the singular gusta form. Bread pleases me. Te gusta la película nueva? I'm going to use the singular form, the new movie. Nos gusta la clase, les gusta la idea. However, if I'm talking about a plural noun, I'm now going to change the form of gustar to me gustan. Me gusta el libro. The book pleases me. Me gustan los libros, because now the books please me. So the verb gustar has to match the subject, which is los libros. Te gustan los gatos, nos gustan las flores, and les gustan las galletas. If I wanted to emphasize this, I could say a ellos. We'll see this more in just a minute. Notice how we are going to use el, la, los, and las most of the time because it's the subject of the sentence. And so we're going to use those definite articles. Now, if I'm using a verb, if I'm trying to describe an idea like I like to study, me gusta estudiar, I simply use the singular form of this. Os gusta bailar. Y'all like to dance. Even if I have two verbs, generally in Spanish we're going to express this in the singular. Me gusta cantar y bailar. This is the thing or the actions that I like doing. A couple of special rules. Since Pedro and Maria y Juana y nosotros is not the subject of these sentences, but rather the indirect object, I have to use the personal a or the indirect object a in front of these to clarify of whom we're speaking. A Pedro le gusta la televisión. Television is pleasing to Peter. There's my a. Les gustan los peces a Maria y a Juana. Fish are pleasing to Maria y a Juana. Okay? And then a nosotros, I'm going to say a nosotros here. Much like I would say in front of any pronoun, I would say a él, a ella, a mí, the accent, a ti. So in front of any pronoun, I'm going to use the preposition a as well to clarify that. Okay, now typically we don't use gustar when we're talking about people. So when I say I like you, typically I'm going to say an expression like me caes bien, you fall well with me, or te quiero, I want you, I love you, which is far less strong than it would be in English. There is an expression you can say me gustas too, which literally means you please me, but this is usually not used in normal communication. And so we're going to avoid this as much as we can for another expression, and we're going to use gustar with objects or with actions. There's a couple of other verbs like gustar. Okay, these simply are memorized and they're all used exactly the same. So me encanta, so me gusta la pizza, or me encanta la pizza. I really like pizza. Okay? And again, if it were me encantan los libros, I'm going to make it plural just like I did before. Importar, interesar, faltar, sobrar, doler, what's the stem change on that? Aburrir and fascinar are all good examples of other verbs that are used just like gustar. And then a key thing to remember is that we can use gustar not only in the present tense or any of the verbs like gustar, but in all of the other tenses as well. We just have to change the conjugation. Always going to be singular or plural. Me encantaría visitarte. I would love to visit you. Le importará el tema de la clase mañana. Tomorrow's class theme is really going to matter to you. Nos gustó el viaje a Puerto Rico. So these are all in the singular or plural form. We can see a plural form in a second here. Le interesaban las novelas de ciencia ficción y ella quería que me fascinara su presentación. She wanted her presentation to fascinate me. Dudo, here's even a subjunctive example. Dudo que te aburren esta película. So that's gustar. Thanks for listening to another mini Spanish review, and go do a practice quiz and see if you can get this.